Welcome to the deep dive. We're jumping straight into quite a story today, Numbers chapter 22.
Yes, this one's memorable. It throws us right into the thick of things, setting up a really unusual encounter.
Okay, so the scene. The Israelites, they finished their journey, basically. They're camped out on the plains of Moab.
Right across the Jordan from Jericho. And the key detail, there are a lot of them.
Vast numbers. And the Moabites, particularly their king, Balak, son of Zippor, he sees this.
And he's not just concerned. The text says Moab was filled with dread. It's genuine terror.
Understandable, really, when you hear his description. He says this horde, this Israelite group, is going to lick up everything around us as an ox licks up the grass of the field.
That's a powerful image. It's not just a big army. It's like an unstoppable natural disaster threatening to consume everything.
Complete devastation is what he fears, and he knows his own army can't handle it.
Exactly. They're just too numerous, too strong. So Balak thinks, okay, military action is out. I need something else.
Something supernatural, maybe? A different kind of power?
Precisely. He needs someone who can fight this on another level. And he has someone in mind.
Right. This figure, Balaam, son of Beor, Balak decides to summon him.
Sends a whole delegation, elders from Moab and also from Midian, so the fear is regional.
And Balaam's not exactly local, is he? He's back in his homeland, Pethor, near the river Euphrates, quite a distance.
It shows Balak's desperation. The message itself is blunt. Come, put a curse on these people.
These people who came out of Egypt, covering the whole land, the goal.
So Balak can maybe defeat them, drive them out. He needs them weakened supernaturally first.
And Balak makes it clear why he chose Balaam. For I know that those you bless are blessed, and those you curse are cursed.
He really believes Balaam has this direct line, this ability to influence fate.
And crucially, the messengers don't go empty-handed. They bring the fee for divination.
This isn't asking a favor. It's a business transaction, hiring a spiritual specialist for a specific job.
So how does Balaam react when they show up with this offer?
His first response is cautious. He tells them, okay, stay the night. I need to check with God. I will bring back the answer the Lord gives me.
And the text says God does interact with Balaam that night.
Yes. God asks him straightforwardly, who are these men with you?
Balaam explains the situation. Balak sent them, wants me to curse Israel.
And God's response initially, it's completely unambiguous.
Crystal clear. Do not go with them. You must not put a curse on those people.
Because they are blessed.
Full stop. No wiggle room there. It's based on Israel's protected status.
So morning comes, Balaam relays this back to the princes.
Tells them basically, go home. The Lord said no. He won't let me go with you.
And the princes dutifully report back to Balak. Refusal.
But Balak, he's not taking no for an answer. He thinks maybe the offer wasn't good enough or the messengers weren't important enough.
Right, so he tries again, sends another group of princes.
And the text emphasizes these guys are more numerous and more distinguished than the first. He's really pulling out all the stops now. Status, numbers, and the offer is much, much higher this time.
Oh yeah, the message is essentially, name your price, don't let anything stop you coming, I'll reward you handsomely, do whatever you say, just come and curse these people.
It's practically a blank check offer. Huge wealth, huge influence on the table.
Now Balaam's reply sounds incredibly firm, doesn't it?
It really does. He says, even if Balak gave me his palace filled with silver and gold, I could not do anything great or small to go beyond the command of the Lord my God.
Sounds like the perfect obedient prophet.
Yeah.
Completely unmoved by worldly goods.
But, and this is a huge but, isn't it? After saying he cannot go against God's command.
He still tells this more prestigious group, well, hang on, stay the night.
Why? He says he wants to find out what else the Lord will tell me.
Which is interesting. God already gave a pretty clear no and explained why. They are blessed.
So what's going on here? Is Balaam hoping God changed his mind? Or is he looking for some kind of loophole?
It strongly suggests he wants a different answer, doesn't it? He knows the command, but that reward, it's tempting. Maybe he's thinking, okay, I can't curse them, but maybe I can just go. Maybe I can still get paid somehow.
The text doesn't spell out his thoughts, but asking again after such a definitive no, it shows a conflict, right, between God's word and this massive offer.
Definitely. A real tension there. And that night, God comes to him again.
A second consultation.
And this time, the instruction is different. God says, since these men have come to summon you, go with them.
Ah, so permission granted.
Well, yes, but. And it's a critical but. God adds, do only what I tell you.
So, okay, you can travel with them, but your words, your actions regarding Israel are still under complete divine control.
Exactly. The permission is conditional. Very conditional.
So, next morning, Balaam settles his donkey, gets ready, and sets off with Balak's princes.
He's technically following God's latest instruction, go with them.
Right. But then, bam, the text hits us with this twist.
Mhm.
But God was very angry when he went.
Yeah, wait a second. God said he could go. Why is God angry now?
It's confusing at first glance. How do we square that circle?
This is probably the most debated bit. It seems God granted permission because Balaam kept pushing, but God was angry about Balaam's motivation for going. His heart wasn't right.
So maybe he was still hoping for that reward, still focused on what he could get out of it, even with the restrictions.
That seems likely. The angel later calls his path reckless.
Huh.
So God allowed the action, but condemned the attitude behind it. And that anger shows up immediately.
It certainly does. The angel of the Lord appears, stands right in the road.
With a drawn sword, no less. Specifically, to oppose him.
And who sees this terrifying sight first? Not Balaam, the famous seer.
Nope. His donkey.
Mm-hmm.
The animal sees the angel.
And reacts instinctively, turns off the road into a field, trying to avoid the danger.
But Balaam, he's completely oblivious to the angel. All he sees is a stubborn donkey veering off course. So he beats her.
Then the angel repositions himself, blocks a narrow path between two vineyard walls.
No room to turn this time. The donkey sees the angel again.
Presses herself against the wall to try and get by, crushing Balaam's foot in the process.
Ouch. So Balaam, now in pain and annoyed, beats her again. Still hasn't seen the angel.
Third time, the angel stands in a place so narrow there's absolutely no way past.
The donkey sees the angel again. What can she do? She just lies down. Stops completely.
Right there, under Balaam, and Balaam completely loses it. He's furious, beats her a third time with his staff.
3 times the donkey perceives the divine danger. 3 times she tries to protect Balaam in her own way. 3 times Balaam misunderstands and punishes her.
Well, then comes probably the weirdest, most unexpected moment in the whole story.
The Lord opens the donkey's mouth.
She speaks, and her first words are incredibly reasonable.
Yeah, not just a noise, but a question. What have I done to you to make you beat me these 3 times? A direct challenge.
And Balaam's response is almost comical if it weren't so revealing. He doesn't react with shock like, my donkey's talking.
No. He's still so wrapped up in his own anger and frustration, he argues back.
He says, you have made a fool of me. If I had a sword, I'd kill you right now.
It just shows how blind he is. Arguing with his talking donkey about being inconvenienced while missing the life-threatening divine blockade right in front of him.
The donkey then makes a very logical point.
She says, look, am I not your donkey? Haven't you ridden me your whole life? Have I ever done anything like this before? Appealing to their history.
And Balaam has to admit it. No, he knows she's usually reliable.
It's only then, after this bizarre, humbling argument with his own animal,
That the Lord opened Balaam's eyes, finally.
and he sees it. What the donkey saw all along. The angel, the drawn sword, the threat.
And his reaction is immediate. Humility, fear. He bows low, falls face down.
The angel then speaks to Balaam and echoes the donkey's question. Why have you beaten your donkey these 3 times?
Drives the point home. Then the angel explains his purpose.
I came here to oppose you because your path is a reckless one before me. Confirms God's displeasure with Balaam's attitude or intent.
And the angel spells out just how important the donkey's actions were.
The donkey saw me and turned away. If she hadn't, I would certainly have killed you by now, but I would have spared her.
Wow. So the donkey didn't just see the angel, she actively saved Balaam's life. Because she perceived what the prophet couldn't.
That's the core paradox, isn't it?
Yeah.
The professional seer is blind, and the simple beast of burden has spiritual sight and acts on it.
Confronted with all this, Balaam confesses.
I have sinned. I didn't realize you were standing in the road. Now, if you are displeased, I will go back. He owns his error.
But the angel repeats the conditional permission.
Go with the men. Same instruction as before, but now Balaam really understands the second part. But speak only what I tell you.
The lesson has been learned, presumably. The journey continues, but under much clearer and perhaps more fearful constraints for Balaam.
So Balaam goes on with the princes. They finally reach Moab.
And Balak hears he's coming, rushes out to the border to meet him.
You can almost hear the impatience in Balak's voice, can't you?
Yeah, did I not send an urgent summons? Why didn't you come? Couldn't I reward you enough? He's still thinking in terms of payment and status.
He completely missed the divine drama that caused the delay.
But Balaam's reply now seems very grounded in his recent experience.
He says, well, I'm here now, but... And he makes the limitation clear up front. Can I say just anything? I must speak only what God puts in my mouth.
He's managing expectations right away,
Oh, yeah.
telling the king essentially, I'm here, but I'm not entirely in control of the outcome you want.
They travel on to Kiryat Huzoth. Balak does the formal welcoming stuff sacrifices, a feast for Balaam and the princes.
Setting things up. And the very next morning,
Balak takes Balaam up high to Baalath Baal, a place with a view.
from there, Balaam could see at least part of the people of Israel camped below.
Ready for the main event. The stage is set for Balaam to deliver the curse Balak has paid so much for.
And that's where chapter 22 leaves us. All this build-up, the tension between Balak's desperation, God's protection of Israel, and Balaam caught right in the middle.
Yeah, Balaam, the prophet for hire, who just had a life-altering and frankly terrifying encounter involving divine anger and a talking donkey.
That donkey is just incredible. She sees the angel, saves Balaam's life.
Exactly. It wasn't just a quirky detail. The donkey's perception was crucial. She saw the spiritual danger when the supposed spiritual expert was completely blind to it.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? The donkey saw the angel before the prophet. What does that tell us about, well, about who gets to perceive spiritual reality?
Is that ability always where we expect it to be? Or can it show up in the most unexpected places
Yeah.
or creatures?
Something definitely worth mulling over. We'll leave it there for this deep dive.